sit with us. Yes, and we have the commissioner here with us today.
And Patty Kaufman!
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, come and sit down. You're very important. All right. Okay.
Kaylee the Tromette, come on!
I don't want to sit there.
Thanks. Hi, everyone!
Hey! I'll eat and then I'll go.
Eat here. Come and sit down. Eat while you're on the panel. Thank you for coming so early, everybody. Thank you. Troma!
Is this mic'd? Can you hear us?
Little girl shouldn't be here. You can see doggy tails though. If you go to Troma Movies, if you go to Troma Movies on YouTube, Troma Movies is a channel that we set up to thank our fans, you for supporting Troma for 40 years, and there are about 300 free movies, including Doggy Tales for the children and Toxic Crusader cartoons.
And Monster in the Closet. That's a good kids movie. It's kind of a scary movie, but it's for kids.
If you subscribe, if we put up new material every other day, so if you subscribe to Troma Movies on YouTube, you get the alerts, and it's all free to thank you, our fans. Any rate, here is Cody Cook to run the amazing Troma panel, and thank you again for coming so early.
Hi.
Cody.
Hi. So make sure to come to the booth. Lloyd signs for free and likes to take photos. We have Toxie. I have like a ton of cards.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
And if you want a card, we have like a buttload at the booth
Yeah, we have
too.
a lot more at the booth. We didn't bring enough apparently.
And we have. I wasn't expecting this many people, so thank you. So Lloyd, let's kick this off. Why did it take so long for Volume 2 to come out? So, because Volume 1 came out many, many years ago, and we were waiting and waiting, and now all of a sudden it premiered just a few weeks ago at Cannes. Was there like any reason that it took so long, or?
Yes. We wanted to make sure that tonight's screening of
Demon Night?
yeah, we didn't want to interfere with Demon Night that's screening tonight at the Globe Cinema, and Cody will be there, I believe.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we ran out of money for Volume 2, and that delayed us. It's very, even though Troma is more famous than ever in our 44th year, it's much harder to get to the public. The rules that used to protect the public from monopoly have been done away with, and the American government is now getting rid of the free, open, and diverse internet, otherwise known as net neutrality on the internet. So it becomes harder and harder for little companies like Troma to survive, and it takes us longer to make a movie that we're proud of. But Michael Hers, my partner for 44 years, says that Volume 2, Return to Newcomb High, aka Volume 2, that is the best movie that Troma has made in 40 years, and in our entire history, which is 44 years, and that it will soon be coming here to the Globe. It is finished, and I believe after I blow Cody Cook,
Yeah.
we'll have 2 weeks at the Globe Cinema with Troma Through the Ages.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna book Volume 1, Volume 2, do a double feature, and then we'll have like a 2-week run of Volume 2 at the Globe Cinema. So, thank you, Lloyd. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, we're really happy Lloyd approached us about showing it. So, and yeah, I have another question. This one's kind of a personal question. Why did you do that to me in the bathroom this morning? It was very uncomfortable, and why haven't you released a Toxic Avenger soundtrack yet? Because we have a Class of Newcomb High, we have a Romeo and Juliet, but everyone has been asking, I get messages online all the time, where is Toxic Avenger, where is Toxic Avenger? And then for me personally, where's Troma's War? But yeah, Toxic Avenger.
The Toxic Avenger music track was put together. Justin Martell has a company called Ship to Shore Records. Justin was one of the producers of Return to Newcomb High and Return to Newcomb High, aka Volume 2. And he has put together several Troma musical scores. Surf Nazis Must Die, Class of Newcomb High, and he had gotten all the music signed up for the Toxic Avenger, but the song at the beginning of the movie, which is called Body Talk. Body Talk was written by the father of Corey Feldman, who at first had agreed to give Justin the right to use the music on that record. But then the father of Corey Feldman changed his mind, and without that song, I guess Justin didn't feel it was worthwhile. Regarding Troma's War, there is a record that is finished, and it will premiere in Brooklyn, New York. At the they're going to do a big event at the Nighthawk Cinema in Brooklyn. Coming up, I think it's coming up fairly soon.
Like in a week.
Oh, is it in a week? In a week, says the commissioner.
It's like July 12th.
July 12th, almost in about a month. So the Troma's War music is ready. And what's interesting about Troma music is, since the 70s, we've been using archival music, like Guardians of the Galaxy did 2 years ago. We've been doing that since Squeeze Play in 1980, whenever it was made, 1910 or whatever. But a lot of the stuff that Troma was castigated for, namely not scoring movies with the giant orchestras or having characters look at the camera and talk to the camera like that, like Deadpool does. We used to be criticized for that. People used to say that was very bad to break the fourth wall. Now, right, Deadpool, they all do it. And it's all thanks to Cody Cook and Troma.
Okay, thanks. You definitely made my day. I kind of want to go to New York now in July and get that. Get the record. Oh my God, that's like one of my favorite soundtracks.
While you're there, you can celebrate our anniversary.
Oh, what?
Like the next day.
Oh, congratulations.
There you go.
You guys are so cute.
What about Kabuki Man?
Kabuki Man. So where's the sequel to Kabuki Man, Mike?
What is it about Kabuki Man that's so interesting that he went to all that trouble? Or she went to all that trouble?
Why have you...
Here, excuse the mic.
Yeah. Why are you so passionate about Kabuki Man? Griswold is like your idol. Is that what it is? Like, what is it that Kabuki Man does to you?
Obviously, it's the alcohol. Actually, one of my favorite things about Kabuki Man is basically, I started out watching the old Toxic Crusaders cartoon all the time, and I loved it so much. And then my brother went to the video rental store and he said, "Oh my God, there's a Toxic Crusader movie." And he bought me the trilogy, and he brought them home for me. I was 6 years old. And he said, "Here you go," and he left me in my room to watch them. And I walked out a changed man. And there was the trailer for Kabuki Man. And I found that at the video store, and I said, "Mom, can we rent this?" And she picked it up and looked at it and went, "Fuck it." And that look alone was just like, this is so goofy, this is so awesome, like all the Troma movies. And then I was just like, there's a Toxic Avenger musical coming up. What could I wear to that? And I wore this, and I walked around downtown Vancouver in this. Went to a karaoke party afterwards.
Yes!
I sung Turning Japanese. Nobody knew what the hell I was or what I was doing there. And it was getting those looks that my mother gave me, 20 years ago was the reason I made this, just so I could watch people go. Good enough answer?
Oh yeah.
All right.
You made everything? Like it's all, wow.
Except for the tappy boots, but.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We did not plan this. He just showed up today. We brought Toxie. This guy, he just out of the blue, flew over from New York.
That's awesome. Vancouver.
Oh, it's Sergeant Kabuki Man, Vancouver, BC.
Or CMP. Or PPD, I guess.
We have Kabuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have Kabuki Man, if we haven't sold out of them. Blu-ray and DVD. So, yeah, and Lloyd will sign for free if you guys want to come out after and hang out and get some autographs. So we do have a couple copies of Kabuki Man. We have other Troma, obviously, paraphernalia, shirts, posters, all for sale, all signed if you want. Any questions from the audience, or do you just want to hear us bullshit about whatever. No hands, so just oh, right there. Okay.
No, please stand high.
Oh.
Psych!
So what's new? Oh, for you. Okay, good.
So what are the rumors about the live action, like the next Toxic Avenger movie, the big Hollywood one?
There is a remake for about 10 years. The Akiva Goldsman and a group of high-powered Hollywood people have been developing a remake of the Toxic Avenger, and they occasionally send us a check. But so far, it doesn't look like it's being happening. It doesn't look like it's happening just yet. But if it does, Uncle Lloydie will get a nice check, and then Uncle Lloydie can have plenty of drugs. I mean, Uncle Lloydie can make more movies, like The Tempest. Our next movie will be The Tempest. And that one we'll get through that one, but we don't have enough for Toxic Avenger Part 5, The Toxic Twins. So if the remake happens, we'll get a big check, and we should be able to. We've got the script for Toxic Avenger Part 5, but we do not have the funds. So hopefully that'll help us.
Well, thank you.
Good question.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, a Kickstarter. There probably will be a Kickstarter. There was for Volume 1, or Volume 2. Anyone else? No?
Oh, I got another one.
Is it just going to be you all night?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, that's
Oh, yeah, do it. Yeah, we're going to be going to New York in the summer. I heard you guys do tours. How do I get a tour for that?
Anyone who wants to visit Tromaville, you just ring the... Well, the best thing is to contact me on Twitter. I'll put you in touch with the person who can arrange the tour. Okay. But people just ring the bell. They find our place in Queens, New York. They ring the bell, and we give them a tour. We're often not there on the weekends, though, unless we're making a movie. It's usually just Monday through Friday. But somebody's usually there from about 8:30 in the morning till about 8 at night. So you can come and visit. And during the summer, we get many young people with very perplexed parents in tow who don't want to see the Statue of Liberty. They want to see the Troma building, which indicates a great problem with our youth today.
That's the reason I'm going.
and you know you're there because on the front of the building
I was just gonna say.
there's a great mural of Toxie.
Yeah, I Google mapped it already.
Yeah, you'll see, it's really hard to miss. There's Troma on the door, Troma above on the windows, there's the big Toxie on the front. It's really hard to miss, but it's quite a trek if you're going to, like, Cassie knows. We walk there, so...
And you will see prominently displayed, probably the proudest award that we have is a certain white hat that sits on my desk in Tromaville, a white hat from none other than Calgary, Canada.
Canada. When we went down, Lloyd busted the hat out because he's like, "Oh yeah, the Calgary hat," and threw it on, and it was great.
And that hat has been in many short videos. We do a lot of short introductions to our Blu-rays and political themed shorts. And that hat is in. If you go to Troma Movies on YouTube, you'll see shorts with the white hat proudly displayed. And again, Kabuki Man, what a great job you did with the. How long did it take to put your makeup on today? And the if it is, how long?
Probably about like 30, 40 minutes.
Well, 40 minutes, that's a lot of devotion. I guarantee you the people who get the Oscars didn't spend 40 minutes. They just spend money. There's no love there. It's all money.
This is all love right here. Do we have any other questions? You again? No?
So how tall are you, Nick?
Oh, there was what?
I'm just kidding.
So, how was Banff? Did you guys have a good time? Oh, there's a question. Okay.
Well, I just bought one of the 4-inch action figures, and I was wondering if you ever thought about making an action figure line of a lot of your different characters.
Oh.
The question was something about action figures. The current ones, there are new action figures, but we call them reaction figures because they're kind of nostalgic and they're throwback. We don't. That's not really our business. Our business is making movies that nobody goes to see, and we're going to stick to our knitting. But there still is Toxie still has merchandise that people keep licensing. So he is the herpes of the movie industry. He will not go away.
I,
think
however,
there
have
are
to make
the-
stuff for it.
Sorry.
I, however, have to make Kabuki Man stuff.
Yes, that's true.
But they are, the Crusader characters did all have toys.
Yeah.
And you can still find them, and they're real.
I bought one today.
What did you buy today?
Toxie, the Toxic Crusader action figure.
Oh, the actual
The original one?
Yeah, I bought it. I bought one today. Susan upstairs has a VHS booth, and she has a second Toxic Avenger figure for $5 or so.
And we think the company that made the action figures that we have now, the
The
reaction.
current company is called Super 7. Hold on, let's give the commission.
Well, and we think that, assuming that these go well, and they seem to be going well, it's our understanding they're going to make more characters and more figures, right?
Yeah, and I think Funko they seem to be interested, but they don't want to give us any money, so Funko to them.
So, Toxie, what do you have to say? Yay! Troma! All right, you guys rule. Do we have anyone else? Yeah, right here. All right.
What was it like to work with Matt Stone and Trey Parker?
Oh, geez. No.
What was it like to work with Trey Parker and Matt Stone? They're the nicest guys in the world. You can't imagine how nice they are. They're absolutely lovely people. And they are genuinely good guys. And I don't know what to say. They couldn't be nicer. With Cannibal the Musical, Troma discovered, in case you didn't know, we were the first to discover Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Although when you go to California today, every stupid suit says that he or it was loved Cannibal the Musical and wanted to distribute it, and which is bullshit. Trey Parker and Matt went to Troma first with Cannibal the Musical. They hadn't finished it. They had done kind of an assembly. And they came to us first, but we had no money, so we couldn't give them any advance payments. And then they went around all the studios who then rejected it, and then they came back to Troma. So we were the first and last stop on the train for Cannibal the Musical. I think they would have much preferred to have it distributed by Paramount or Sony or one of the other evil devil-worshipping conglomerates. But Troma did it. We gave them some instructions on how to open the film. They shot the opening scene.
You gave them some money to help them finish.
What?
You gave them money to help them change.
I think we helped them. Yeah, we helped them finish the movie, and they immediately dropped us when they became successful. So no, that's not true. That is not true. In fact, if you look at Terra Firma, you will see an amazing short piece where they play hermaphrodites on the DVD of Terra Firma, a public service announcement that they did, and they're in some other Troma stuff, and they also on Troma movie. What?
Tales from the Crapper.
Yes, Trey Parker gets his head squashed in Tales from the Crapper. And he tells the aristocrats joke in Tales from the Crapper 2 years before that very inadequate documentary came out.
And tell them that I think one of the coolest things that came out of his association, Lloyd's association with Trey and Matt, is the story of the Sundance Film Festival and the birth of Troma Dance.
What happened?
You tell them.
If I tell, you should kind of say it, because if I just praise myself, you'll get the truth out.
Well, the truth is you did a good thing. So the three of them go to, Trey and Matt submitted Cannibal the Musical to Sundance, to the festival, and you have to pay a lot of money to even submit your film to Sundance. So they pay the fee, they submit the film, and they don't even get a rejection letter. They don't even tell you they're not taking you. They just, if you don't hear from them, assume you're not in. And it so infuriated them that they decided to do a one-room film festival. And so Lloyd and they went out to Sundance, took a hotel room, and ran the film there and called it, what did you call it, Troma Dance at that point?
No, it was Cannibal the Musical Festival, or one movie festival, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was very successful.
Yeah, it did really well. And then Lloyd got the idea, you know what, this whole thing at Sundance is such BS. It's so, they treat people badly, there are long lines, they make people pay so much to submit their films, so they don't even give them the courtesy of a yes or a no. And then when you get there, you have to wait in the long lines, and you're just treated badly as a fan that goes. So Lloyd decided to launch Troma Dance, and for the first 10 years, he actually did Troma Dance in Park City, where Sundance is. It's a free film festival. You can submit your films for free. And you get a letter one way or the other telling you if you're in or not. And then once your film is in Troma Dance, the festival itself, which is like a 2-day event, there's, the tickets to the festival are free because Lloyd totally underwrites it and gets sponsorship and that sort of stuff. And there's no VIP policy. And for 10 years we had Troma Dance in Sundance at the same time as Sundance in Park City. Then we outgrew Sundance and went to New Jersey, the home of Toxic Avenger, Tromaville. And now it's in Brooklyn, which is actually I think has been the most fun. I think it's been great in Brooklyn. And it's in late July or early August this year?
I think it's in July. I can't remember the date, but you go to tromadance.com and you can get the information. The selections have been made. I don't think they've been announced yet, but the committee has decided, I think, what they're planning to show, but hasn't announced it.
But some great films have come out of Troma Dance, and this is all thanks to Lloyd. This is something that Lloyd really felt passionately about.
Thank you, Lloyd!
Well, thank you. Submit your movies next year to Troma Dance. We did the premiere of Human Centipede, which, as you know, was directed by Terrence Malick and Ken Loach.
That is a horrible movie.
It's a great film, and the film festivals that you hear about, they're timid. They're timid. They want to show movies that are safe. Right? They don't want to show. Sundance didn't want to show Killer Condom when it was made, which is a German movie with effects by it has special effects by aliens H.R. Geiger, and Sundance too are frightened to show that. But then 20 years later, they show a movie that's very similar to it with no political theme whatsoever, called Teeth, and which was okay. If the Teeth came out in 1980, maybe it would have been interesting. But The Killer Condom had a queer guy as the main character, and it didn't make a big thing about being queer. It was just he was a homosexual detective working in New York, and it had the whole these wonderful effects by H.R. Geiger. It was produced by the producer of the Oscar-winning English Patients, but the festivals were afraid of it. They were afraid, and that's the way they are. The mainstream festivals are afraid. And what's wonderful, I've been to this convention twice. No, I've been here at least.
At the Calgary Expo once, and then Calgary Horror Con twice, and then Poltergeist.
Because the fans here are real. They're not just being told what to watch by the media. They are here because they really enjoy avant-garde filmmaking and personal filmmaking and having true and genuine emotions. And thank you, Calgary.
There's also a funny story about going back to the original question with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, where you said that the ad-libbed line at the end of Orgasmo was supposed to be what would spawn the sequel, because you ad-libbed that line.
Well, no, the scene that Trey put me in was supposed to tee up the sequel, and I took that seriously. I thought Trey was serious, but clearly, I don't think he ever intended there to be a sequel to Orgasmo. Certainly not from my scene. It's a great Orgasmo. If you haven't seen it, it's a wonderful, wonderful Trey and Matt movie. It's very good and features a lot of our Troma villains like Ron Jeremy and some of the other characters.
I saw a hand there, yeah?
I just wanted to say the taco restaurant scene in the first Toxic Avenger is like I think it's like one of the most important scenes in any movie ever made.
Wow, thank you.
I was just wondering how long it took to film that scene.
So the question, first off, it was the taco scene in the original Toxic Avenger was probably one of the most important scenes in all of cinema. And that, if you wanted to know how long it took to film.
The taco fast food scene in the Toxic Avenger, the first one. Maybe tell us what was it about that scene that you feel is the most important scene in film history.
I could probably talk till next week about that.
Is it the arm amputation?
Everything.
Is it the arm amputation?
The dog, all the stuff
okay,
in the kitchen, the Toxie's voice for the first time. the makeup teenage girls, just the three bad guy character, like everything.
This guy's a super fan.
There's nothing wrong with that
You
scene.
hit it on the nail. That scene is a iconic scene, and if you haven't seen the Toxic Avenger, the scene is the first time Toxie does something heroically, and
The song is amazing as well.
the song is great. There's a line which many people quote, namely, "I never cornholed me a blind bitch before." And the only bad mail that I've ever gotten by any Troma movie, the only bad mail was because a dog is shot. I don't mean to be a spoiler, but the movie's 40 years old, so. But there's a dog that gets a dog that helps blind people. Gets shotgun. A seeing eye dog that gets a shotgun, and that got some nasty mail. But that's it. No other Troma movie has ever gotten that. They don't care if the children get their heads squashed by automobile wheels or arms ripped off. But I agree with you, because that scene is quite amazing, and when you look at it in the fullness of time, because it's anti-fast food. It's got the face painting. It talks about all these things that are going to happen. It was filmed in '82 or '83, but predicts so much of contemporary culture 30 years later.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So fast forward to Return to Nukem High, and not to do a spoiler, but a dog gets thrown.
Has everyone seen Return to Nukem High Volume 1?
Oh, we sure have.
There is a scene with the dog.
Yes,
Yeah.
so, well, but a dog gets thrown
Off Niagara Falls.
off Niagara Falls, and it's hilarious because they clearly are using, this flippy, cloth dog, like a rug. It's like a rug that they're throwing over, and I always thought that was like a funny throwback to the. Did you see it as a funny throwback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing in Return to Nukem High and Return to Nukem High is it comes back to the fast food theme, to the poisoning of students in American schools with the crappy fast food and Taco Tuesday and all that kind of stuff. So, it's all, the Troma universe is very consistent.
Yeah. Do we have any other right here? Yeah.
Do you have a recollection of the most disturbing thing that's happened while filming?
What's the most disturbing thing that's ever happened whilst filming?
Story.
Well, the most disturbing thing for Michael Hers and me was on Toxic Avenger, actually, because there's a car crash, and the car goes over on its roof. It turns over during the crash, and the guy who we never skimp. We're very parsimonious because we have very low budgets. But we don't do that when it comes to safety. The first rule of Troma production is safety to humans. That's the paramount rule. And I shouldn't say the word paramount because that studio is, I hate that studio. But the most important part of, the most important...
Is it the universal rule?
It's terrible. Very bad first wife.
But excellent trophy wife.
Yes. I agree. At any rate, what were we talking about?
The car flip.
Yeah, so we hired a guy who was a big time and worked on a Frank Sinatra film to do the stunts, and the guy he hired to put the roll bar into the car that flips over is they put the roll bar, rather than attach the roll bar to the body of the car so that it would protect the car from crushing the driver, he attached the roll bar to the floor of the car, so when the car flipped over, the roll bar went through the floor of the car like a straw through a wet paper bag, and fortunately the car was crushed. Had there been someone in the passenger seat, that person would have emerged as a Tom and Jerry cartoon accordion. Probably a dead accordion. But luckily the driver, the stunt guy, was in the driver's seat and he did not get crushed. But he did have to be cut out. We had to get the jaws of that thing, jaws of life that cut him out. And that's the only guy, the guy who was so incompetent, Oddly, he's the only person that when somebody would call me for a reference, I would tell that, I would badmouth him. I would never take bread from somebody's mouth, but he was a danger to humans, a danger to people, and I got a call. Somebody actually, he actually used me as a reference. And this goes back 30 years, and it might have been 2 years ago when somebody asked me about him, and I wrote back exactly what happened. I didn't spare the truth.
So can you talk about that new movie you just mentioned earlier? Your new movie that you're going to be working on? Is there anything you can talk about
Sure.
it?
The next movie is The Tempest. We made Tromeo and Juliet 1994, and James Gunn wrote it, and I don't know what happened to him, but he's doing something today, I'm sure.
Still figuring out iambic pentameter.
Yes, and exactly, whatever that is. And now we decided to go back to my favorite play of Shakespeare's, which is The Tempest, and we're going to anyway, the themes are going to be kind of anti. We have a huge opiate crisis in the United States, and
anti-big pharma.
Yeah, anti-big pharma, which has nothing to do with agriculture. It's farmer in this case is PHARMA, and it's we feel that the drug companies have been brainwashing children for the past 40 years with 24/7 TV ads, normalizing the taking of all sorts of drugs. And if you take this pill, then you should take another pill to go with this pill, and it goes. And for 40 years we've been brainwashed. Not I, because I'm old, but children have seen this while they're having their sugar in the morning at the breakfast table, and they get it 24/7. So that's a major theme of The Tempest. And then also I've got a bone to pick with the snowflakes, the PC crowd that has prevented free speech on campuses like Berkeley in San Francisco, which used to be called Ground Zero for free speech, but now they're throwing garbage cans through windows to prevent people from speaking, which I feel doesn't matter who's speaking. They should have the right to speak, and there should be intelligent discourse. There should not be this fascistic closing down of any kind of free speech. Steve Martin recently removed Steve Martin, right? One of the world's greatest comedians of all time. He actually removed a tweet that was perfectly benign because he was so shamed in the Twitter sphere, and I felt that was just the last straw. So those are the two themes of The Tempest. So as like Troma movies, Sergeant Kabuki Man will hopefully be part of that movie.
I have something to add to that. To add to that, I was at Dragon Con a couple years ago for a screening, and they had Return to Nukem High playing, and there was a couple of people who were like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see this, I love Troma films." And then they got to the one line about not being safe in this neighborhood if you have like a bag of Skittles and a hoodie on. And they went, "Oh my god, Lloyd, that is so uncalled for. I can't believe you do something like that." And I turned around and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Do you know where you are right now? You are the actual Troma screening. Not just, oh, let's have a couple movies. It's Troma. You should know these things." Okay.
Thank you, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD.
Yeah.
RCMP. Anyone else? We probably have time for a couple more, I think, or are we out of time? Nope, we have time. So, anyone? Do you just want to like sing and dance? You want us to jump around and like I don't know, sing and dance? Yeah. Oh, who had a question over there?
No, he didn't.
I got one.
Okay, yeah.
I actually heard you had some trouble with the police at Cannes this year, like a bit more than usual.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to bring it up. So.
The gentleman just brought up the Cannes Film Festival. When I'm hearing about the Cannes Film Festival, I bring up my recent meal and not pleasant results. I've been going to the Cannes Film Festival since 1971. I slept on the beach. We had a movie called Sugar Cookies, which is a wonderful movie. We had money for Lynn Lowry's in it, Mary Warrenov, and a lot of the Warhol superstars. And we didn't have money for the hotel, so we slept on the beach. We had money to rent the theaters and show the movie, and we got a few distributors to sign up. for international rights. And the police and the local festival and the citizens of Cannes, they all loved that because it was a festival. It was festive, and hustling was considered part of the deal. Supporting your art, but that's all gone. It's now the fascist Cannes Film Festival.
Paint the picture of.
Here, why don't you do it?
I just want to give the background. I mean, Troma is legendary at Cannes, year in and year out, for doing street theater. Rather than buy ads in the trades, which cost a fortune, and really, who's really looking at them, Troma does street theaters. And so Troma volunteers, people who've worked on whatever movie he's selling that year, or just big Troma fans. They come literally from all over the world to be part of the Troma team, and they do parades twice a day up and down the Croisette, which is that main stretch along the water where all the hotels are and the Palais and all that sort of stuff. So at least twice a day, the Troma team is out with signs and masks. Kabuki Man is there. The women in scant clothing are there, and they're going up and down, Troma, Troma, and advertising the film. And people in Cannes actually kind of think it's funny and like it. And the waiters come out and, wave them on and all that sort of stuff. So that's the background to what happened this year. So this has been going on for years, no problem. Then this year.
There were thugs in suits that prevented us from doing anything. And the police said they knew us and they had no problem, but our volunteers got thrown up against the wall like Law and Order with their hands behind them, and they were arrested. And I got arrested. I didn't get taken anywhere, but they took my license a couple of times. And the Cannes Film Festival does not want festivity anymore. They don't want independent film. They want to support the club of government-supported and giant conglomerate-supported movies. And from now on, in the same way that Trump says lying Ted Cruz or crooked Hillary for the rest of my life, it's the fascist Cannes Film Festival, the fascist Cannes Film Festival. And I'm not going back after, this is my 50th year in making movies, and for the festival, for the fascist Cannes Film Festival, which calls itself a worshipping of cinema, for them to arrest a 71-year-old man for being festive, I'm very sorry, I'm not going back. And we also paid for the badges. We were officially part of that organization. We paid for the airplanes and apartments for our volunteers to stay in. They paid their way to get there. The French economy made plenty of money through Troma. And at this point, the south of France looks like, that was the hotbed for Hitler when Hitler took over France. The Pétain and Vichy regimes were very strong in southern France, and it looks to me like the Cannes Film Festival has got that nice elitist flavor back, and fuck them.
I will say that they had their cover for what they did. Their cover for what they did was the terror threat. And there was a destroyer out in the bay and all that sort. And there were soldiers with submachine guns everywhere you looked. The scary part is that the police in Canada never carried guns before, so they gave the police for the very first time guns. And I remember at that point thinking, now this is genuinely dangerous, because you got these guys that have never carried guns before out patrolling the streets.
What was it they didn't like that we were doing?
We weren't allowed. Our team was not allowed to wear masks. And Kabuki Man, Doug Sackman, who is our Kabuki Man and does Kabuki Man's Cocktail Corner. You should all watch it on YouTube. It's really not even a mask for him. It's really all makeup for him. They told him he couldn't wear makeup. They couldn't carry They couldn't carry signs. They said it looked too much like a protest. What that has to do with terrorism, I'm not exactly sure. But they could not carry signs. If you go to our Troma booth, you see the Troma posters. Yeah. The ones this has. Those were actually what we carried as our signs and all that. We couldn't do that.
But yet down the street, Disney had full
Pirates of the Caribbean
Pirates
people
of the Caribbean
in full
people
costume,
in full costume,
everything.
and they had no issue.
Yeah, with guns.
With guns, yeah.
With guns.
Yeah.
So there was clearly a double standard going on. And then Manchester happened tragically. And at that, then I mean, they were allowing us to march for about a 3-block area, nowhere near the Palais. So it wasn't where it was useful to us. But after Manchester, even that was shut down. So anyway.
But it had nothing to do with terrorism. It had something to do with the Cannes Film Festival does not want anyone who's. We were policed out of Sundance, and we got policed out of Cannes. They don't want independent thought. They don't want independent art. They don't want any Jean-Luc Godards or people who might change things a little bit. They don't. They want the status quo. And if you're part of the status quo, you're embraced by the fascist Cannes Film Festival, and it's as simple as that. The police said they like us and they know us. The citizens love us there. It was purely these thugs that would appear to work for the Cannes Film Festival. They had no police ID. I asked them for ID.
But
they had no. They were. We don't know who they were, but they had something to do with the festival.
They were the security.
Security for the festival. Well, whatever it is, we were not allowed to wear a T-shirt. One of our guys, a volunteer from Iceland, was walking on the area in front of the main theater, and the cop wouldn't let him on a public street because he had a Troma T-shirt. No Troma.
So if you want to make a personal protest against what was going on in Cannes, come to our booth and buy a Troma T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, Calgary loves and supports Troma, and the Globe Cinema loves and supports Troma, and we'll definitely any chance we can get to have you here. Obviously, like when we were in New York and we were hanging out with Lloyd, and Lloyd was like, "What the fuck, man? Why haven't you brought me back to Calgary?" Within a minute, Lloyd was already welcome back to Horror Con. So that was last year, and yeah, it was set up while we were hanging. We were like on the phone with Dan. We're like, "Hey, we're with Lloyd right now, and he wants to come back." And Dan was like, "Oh, I'm writing up the contracts right now." And so,
thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lloyd.
So our booth is in when you walk in where there's the big cinema, if you go to the right, there's the one booth with all the vendors, and trust me, you'll see it. It's this giant green Troma. It's very hard to miss. On the back wall, we're right next to Dick Warlock and stuff. So if you guys want to come over after this, we're going to run out. We'll take a little break, like a 5-minute break, and then we'll go over to the booth, and Lloyd will start signing. And we have tons of merch, T-shirts, posters, everything. And don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. It's a thank you to you, our fans, for 40 years, for supporting us. And yeah.
One more thing that would help us, because we're really out of gas. We're done. We have another channel called Troma Now, and those are all world premiere movies by new young whippersnappers who are the Troma of the future. They're totally idealistic, and they make great movies, and about 2 or 3 world premieres are put up every month, along with curated movies, and that channel is called Troma Now. And if anybody has $4.99 a month, please subscribe. The first month is free, so you can probably get a good sense of what Troma Now gives you. But that's a way to support Troma and get something in return, and also get some movies that might change the status quo just a little bit, and also get some great entertainment. So please subscribe to Troma Now.
And then we can stuff it to Netflix and to Amazon, and Amazon for taking all the good movies off. So then we can be like, fuck you, Amazon. So if you want to buy movies, buy them from this guy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Make sure to swing by. Thanks, Toxic Avenger, Patty, Lloyd, Kabuki Man, Kaylee, or Tromette. Make sure to come see us. And then Demon Night tonight, 9 o'clock at the Globe Cinema.
Yeah. Demon Night. Woo. Cody Cook. Thank you, Cody Cook.